everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daisy Daniel. I'm a life coach and a teacher going on a personal journey to lose weight, doing intermittent fasting, trying to do some strength training. Now that I'm older, I'm in my 50s now, and I want to take care of my body. And I figured I would journal this to inspire maybe some of you who are in the same boat that want to do these things but don't know how, maybe a little bit afraid, maybe don't have a whole lot of motivation. And hey, that's what life coaches do, right? We come alongside of you and we motivate you. So here's my motivational month number 8 for you. This month I'm going to be talking about exercise addiction. But before we get into that, last month I talked about doing the hard things. And in case you didn't get a chance to see that video, I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes because I think it was a very good video. You know, we want all these great things to happen to us without putting in the work, and it just does not work that way, folks. You have to put in the work to see results. That's just how it is. I have completed month number 8, and I'm super pumped to tell you all about it. I started this journey back in July 4th of 2019, doing the intermittent fasting 6 days a week. And I am happy to report that I am still doing it 6 days a week. However, I will share a little change that I made this month. But getting back to the exercise addiction. Back in 2009, I trained for a half marathon. A half marathon is a grueling marathon, over 13 miles. And I trained for a year to do it. I talked about this a little bit in a prior video, but I'm going to get more into detail and a little bit more personal during this video. And I wanted to show you my medal from that. This one was my first marathon medal that I got in 2009. Right after I got this in November of 2009, I ran another half marathon in Miami. So it was in January of 2010, and that medal is somewhere in this house. I have searched everywhere for that medal, but I have not been able to locate it, but I know I have it. It's somewhere, and it's beautiful, it's blue, and I finished both half marathons. The second one, the one I can't find the medal to, it rained the whole time. And it took me hours to finish. I'm not a fast runner, but it was about finishing. But I'm not going to talk about the details of that. I want to talk today about what I was running from when I was training for this half marathon. These medals I've gotten doing 5Ks. I'm a big supporter of the AVDA abuse shelter in Delray. So every year I run in the race. This year I did not. I've done it for 3 years straight. You only see 2 medals because, believe it or not, the second time I ran in the race, I went home without my medal. I just totally forgot. I don't really do it for the medals, even though they're beautiful and they remind me of my hard work. But anyway, during that time in my life in 2009, when I was training for this marathon, I didn't realize that I was really training so hard to run away from something. I was very unhappy. I was in a very unhappy marriage as well. I had a lot of stress on me, and I didn't know how to handle it. I had never been to a therapist, never talked to anyone about my problems. I also didn't understand exactly what was happening to me. And I decided to do the half marathon to try to de-stress and to also to get fit and to lose weight, and just to see what lessons I could learn from running a half marathon. And I remember I took a lot of notes, and maybe one day I'll dig those up and I'll do another video about my experience running in a half marathon. But there were a lot of metaphors that I got out of it, a lot of lessons that I learned. But I do remember this: I did not lose not 1 pound. Training for a year, running miles and miles and miles. Sometimes I would run 8 miles, 9 miles, 10 miles to train for the 13.2, I think it is, miles that I had to run and to train myself to be able to do it that day. And I didn't move not 1 pound. And it's because of the cortisol levels being so high. Your body doesn't know if you're being attacked by a bear or that you're training for a half marathon. You're putting yourself through a lot of stress, your body. And why was I doing that? I was doing that because I was unhappy. I was running away from a bad marriage that I couldn't get away from. I felt like I couldn't get away from. I have been now divorced for the past 2 years, so I eventually in 2013 did separate. But this was back in 2009 when I was going through this, and I had issues before that in my marriage. That was nothing new when I did this, but I do know that I was running away from something. So I want to ask you, those of you who are addicted to exercise, what are you running away from? Why is it that you're spending so many hours trying to perfect yourself, trying to de-stress when you're actually creating more stress by overexerting yourself? You could Google the dangers of over-exercising. I don't need to spend a lot of time on this video to tell you that there are many negative side effects to over-exercising, overdoing it. Anything that you overdo is really not good for you. You shouldn't overdo things that are going to harm you. So I just wanted this month's video to be more of a reflection on your part. Ask yourself, if you're spending more than 5 to 6 hours a week, more than 6 hours a week exercising, you probably have an addiction, okay? Doctors say we should exercise 3 to 4 times a week for, up to an hour. That's what I'm striving to do on my journey, and I have seen results. I'm very close to my goal weight, and I'm very pleased with how far I have come without doing any form of strenuous exercise, killing myself in the gym and doing all these crazy exercises. I think people enjoy the social aspect of that, and that, I understand that, and that's important. Not everyone could do it the way I'm doing it, me, myself, and I in this house and, outside, but on my own, I totally get that. But the main thing is, when you have an addiction, you have to ask yourself why you're overindulging, even with, quote, good things, like exercise. You could do anything and take it overboard. And that's what I want you to reflect on. By the way, as a life coach, I do one-on-one sessions with people, and one of the things I'm implementing now is doing the coaching on a nature trail, going with my clients one at a time, obviously, private one-on-one sessions, and walking in a beautiful trail, because when you walk outdoors, your mind is just so much more clearer. Those happy endorphins are released. You're seeing God's creation. You're hearing the birds chirping, and you're also multitasking in a way. So you are exercising your body. For those of you that don't have the motivation to do it totally by yourself, that could be something that I could do with you if you live in the Palm Beach County area. And there's a couple of parks that I go to that are a great place to walk. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm available for that. Now this month, my high was that I was at a school and I was actually teaching PE class. And, I told the students, I said, you guys are going to play basketball, you guys are going to play soccer over here, and then over here, we'll have our own little dance club, and if you want to show me some dances, feel free to come over here. I'll play some music, and you could show me some dances. And it was a group of girls, about 4 girls, and they were so excited. And they introduced me to TikTok. Oh my goodness. Why did I ever discover TikTok? I love social media. I'm very social and I love to share awareness on all kind of things, and I'm going to be bringing all kind of good information for all of you. It's in the making. But they introduced me to TikTok and I saw the potential of using TikTok as a social platform to share awareness on different topics that are dear to me. One of the things I fell in love with was the foot shuffle dances that are on TikTok. Or if you just Google foot shuffle dances, you can see it on YouTube as well if you're not into TikTok. But some of these dancers are so precise and so good with their footwork, and I just loved it. And I said, I have to incorporate that into my exercise routine. So what my exercise routine has been for the past 8 months, along with intermittent fasting, fasting for 16 hours, 6 days a week, only having one cheat day, my exercise has been comprised of 1 hour, 4 times a week. Last month I made the change that I was going to do 2 hours of half of it strength training, the other half the treadmill, and then 1 hour of racquetball and 1 hour of walking for a total of 4 hours. What I am going to do now is that instead of going on the treadmill, I'm going to give the treadmill a little break because I really want to learn some of those footwork dances. And I don't know exactly how I will use that, but I will use it on my platform to share awareness in different ways. And once I get good, I might even do a video for you all, and you might be the first ones to see it before I even put it on TikTok. But that is something I'm going to start doing. I actually started a little bit this week, and it is tiring. I sweat more doing the shuffle foot dances from TikTok than the treadmill. I really do. And so I started looking to see which dancer I like the best, and I picked one who's out of Australia, and his name is Austin. And if you want to look him up on social media, his handle is SteamZaus, and that is the review for today, by the way. I do highly recommend him. I did private message him and told him that he was going to be my private choreographer, and he was quite proud. And I won't let him down. I will learn these dances, and I will burn a lot of calories, I guarantee you that. So that was my high, being introduced to TikTok. My low was that I didn't have a huge weight loss. I was very close to my goal from last month, but I only lost half a pound. So I am at exactly 112. I am 2 pounds away from my goal weight now. And the whole month I was going up and down with a pound, and I've been doing a little cheating, which I might as well confess right now. Another change I made this month that you were not aware of, but I'll just confess, is that I started doing my intermittent fasting. Instead of 16 hours, I bumped it down to 14. So now my eating window is from 10 in the morning till 8 at night. And because I'm so close to my goal weight, and I think we all do this, we tend to celebrate a little bit more and be a little less strict. So I've been eating more sweets, and I know I say this every month. Sorry guys, I'm human. But I will lose those 2 pounds. I think it's just going to be harder. The combination of me being a little bit more lenient and also it being the last 2 pounds, it's just a hard combination. But I will get there, and it's going to be a celebration. The main thing, though, is going to be maintaining it, as you already know. And I could see that I can't go back to just eating whatever I want anytime I want, because I will gain all these 20 pounds right back so easily. So that was my low. My epiphany is that I have to learn to keep my word to myself. So if I said last month that I was only going to have one cheat day, I should have done that, and I didn't. You know, there were different times where I celebrated again and just had sweets and things like that. So you sow what you reap, people. That's in the Bible, and it's so true. Whatever you sow, which means to plant, you will reap, you will grow, whether it's good or bad. So that was my epiphany. Here's my inspirational thought. It is a quote, and I don't know who wrote this quote. It's anonymous. Running away from your problems is a race you'll never win. Running away from your problems is a race you will never win. You will only fix your problems when you face them and you do something about it. When you become aware of a problem, you need to try to fix it in yourself, in your family, and try to get the help that you need so that it doesn't get worse. Because if you don't fix it and you ignore it, it just gets worse. So I love that quote, and it reminds me of when I was running and training for my half marathon, how I was running away from something that I didn't even know what I was running away from, but I was in a very bad place, and I'm so much better now because I made some changes. My new habit this month is that I'm going to do TikTok foot shuffle dances twice a week for 30 minutes. So that's an hour. If I have little extra time here and there, I might do it a little more, but I'm not committing to any more than 4 hours a week of exercise because frankly, I got a lot of other important things I gotta do. So that's gonna be my new habit, as well as only fasting 14 hours a day, not 16 like I was doing. I lost half a pound, people, so I'm down to 112, and my goal is 110. That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with your friends, and meet me here next month. Next month, I'm going to be talking about body dysmorphic disorder. Wow. That is when you look in the mirror and the way you see yourself is not really the way you look. In your mind, you see yourself differently. And a lot of people who lose weight, many times they still see themselves as fat. So we're going to have a little conversation about that. Hope you stay tuned. All right, thank you for joining me. Love you all. Bye.